Hello and welcome to another episode of the Anfield Boot Room. Um, I've been very prolific of late with these episodes due to absolute boredom and lack of things to do because my good wife Becky is tonight off to a Shakira concert with her friend Sean and both their mums, which I was absolutely delighted to be able to avoid. So instead, I'm doing an end of season review for Liverpool Football Club, and yeah, so just a little insight into what happened on the last day of the Premier League. I was able to beat Aston Villa 4 goals to nil. Balotelli was 100% prolific, and then I took him off. Ha. But yeah, really, really effective. Just game went to plan. We had we had one clear-cut chance, but enough shots on target for more than one to go in. And Aston Villa we didn't get a peek out of Aston Villa, so that was really good. Man City completely capitulated and lost. I'm trying to find the result. Yeah, lost to Hull, 1-0. Very strange result. Their end of season crash. Really, really strange. Really, really strange. Oh, good lord, I'm going to sneeze. Right, I'm hoping I whipped my mic away from my general face region. That did not come out too offensively. Um, but yeah, Man City, just a complete capitulation from them. Alan McGregor, man of the match. Oh yeah, to be fair, they had a bit of a Liverpool game by the look of it. Um, so yeah, very very strange goings on. Um, yeah, the end of the season, that run, they dropped. What was it? 6, 9, 10, 11 points in the last however many games it was. Yeah, 6. So that's really weird, really weird. But great for us because we managed to secure Champions League football, and that's really really important. So I think this might be yeah. Oh, that's really cool. I didn't realise that. So we we were as high as first at one point, then it went down, and then fairly consistently a little drop in form here where we went down to sixth, and then picking up for that little rev up at the end, taking us up to fourth, which is the important place. Um, as you can tell, my hay fever is kicking in, hence the sneezing and the sniffing. That's yeah, all fun and games. But yeah, basically we met expectations. So a season of much turmoil, turnover, playing staff, backroom staff, all sorts really. But we still met expectations. We did extra well in the Champions League, where I got knocked out by Real Madrid, as you know. Reached the semi-final of the FA Cup, so did quite well there. Quite happy and won the Capital One Cup, but no one cares. So just got 55%. How generous of them. Useless. Um, so I thought it might be interesting. I've kind of drawn up some little plans for next season as to who I think is going to be in and who I think is going to be out. And I thought it would be good to examine the stats to see if I'm actually supported in the stats in this way. Um, so yeah, if we start off obviously with the goalkeeping position and move through the squad, I feel like that will be a sensible way to go, and then we can finish the episode because I haven't got any more games to play, and I'll try and do some dealings. Oh yeah, I was delighted to have been given nearly 40 million. Um, very very happy with that. I'm going to try and update the youth staff a bit more because I don't have an under 21s manager or assistant manager, and I think it's the under 21s are lacking some coaching staff, so hoping to upgrade in that area as well before everyone else does over the summer. Um, I can't really request anything on my board. They're upgrading the training facilities and the youth facilities in line with our philosophy, so happy with that. Happy with the money. I imagine most of that will go on the transfers that I've indeed already taken because a lot of them have been stretched out over a number of years, so that will probably happen. So I'm not going to go on a spending splurge because I already have a really good squad. So to back that up, let's review. So Timo Horn played a lot of games, played 53 games, a fair number of clean sheets. So yeah, that would be 23 clean sheets for his first season in the Premier League, showing that he's well worth the 6.75 million paid for him. I think he's improved generally, and he's a nice goalkeeping shape. I like him a lot. He's staying hopefully for a very long time, and it's all good. Even though his squad status is hot prospect, I might need to fiddle those about a bit. Maxim Koval did not really play very much. Also, Tim Horn got a tackling average, which is brilliant. Love that. 0.02 tackles per game. Amazing. I hope next season he gets a dribbling one as well. Koval didn't really do much, but I think kept 2 clean sheets. So, I brought him in fairly basic games, but he came in January, so there were only crunchy games left, really. So he didn't get much of a look in. We got a new keeper coming in, Liali. I figure that he may go out on loan because, as predicted, as soon as you agree to sign for Liverpool, his potential actually plummeted from 4 stars to 3 stars. So maybe he won't be the best goalkeeper ever, but we'll see and try and maximise that and manage the squad appropriately. Daniel Ward, Liverpool homegrown, didn't really do anything. So there we go. Right, so moving to defenders now. Martin Skirtle was an absolute triumph. An absolute triumph. He was a rock at the back. He played in every single big game in that central defensive position, the limited defender in my setup of tactics. He played nearly the most games. Mamadou Sakho played a lot of games as well because he got a little bit injured at one point. But yeah, he's great. He's well-rounded. He's very quick for someone his age and height. Very agile as well. So physically, he is dominating in there. Mentally, he's very consistent. I think almost if he could do with better tackling. But he's even quite good on the ball. Yeah, he's a good lad. He's a top lad. So his contract runs out at the end of next season. And now I'm thinking that by the end of next season, I will have suitable replacements. So I would very much like to keep him in the coming season. But I think he may, his usefulness will decrease. Right, I'll talk about these two guys in the midfield section, but Eder was my next best defender, ranging obviously on average rating. He played a lot of games, he's improved quite a lot, and he is a top defender. He's 22 years of age. He's going to be worth all the money I paid for him and more. So yeah, really happy with him. Really good. He that injury, slight susceptibility to injuries. He did pick up a few, but they weren't too bad. 7 weeks, double hernia. That is a mean one. But anyway, so he's good. Emmanuel Mamana emerged so he's better than Dragovic, than Sarko, than Lovren, than all of these guys on average rating. Brilliant. Yeah, very, very strange, in fact. That he's got a really, really good pass ratio, considering these guys have played in midfield and that sort of thing. Brilliant pass ratio because he's come on a lot. So physically, he's actually nearly meeting, those heights of Skirtle. Defensively, he's very, very good, and of course, you can see he's amazing on the ball. He's got great vision, and I love a bit of that. But he's played really well and got 20 games out this season. So that's good. Have I offered him a new contract? Yeah. Oh yeah, just topping those up to run till 2020, probably paying him very similar wage, and that's how we roll. Right, Dragovic did play a lot more games than Mamana because at the minute he's better. But I tell you what, with Mamana's improvement, yeah, there's not that much in it, despite their 5 years in difference, age difference. So that's interesting to note that Dragovic maybe. He was always brought in, to be fair, he was brought in fairly cheaply as a bit of this guy will back up. And he will back up, and his big games, he's consistent. So I still like him a lot, but he's not going to be as good as the likes of Mamana and the likes of Eder. So, yeah, but a good lad, and paid a lot less than the likes of Lovren. Sarko had a mixed season, I think. So he... Statistically, I really like him because he's physically very solid, mentally very solid, defensively, you guessed it, very solid. And he played 35 games for us, and he's a good player, although apparently he's run out of potential. I thought he was going to get a bit better, but he's really good. I really like him, but he did go through a bit of a sticky patch where he did not play so well, and the fans were complaining at him, and that wasn't so brilliant. So yeah, not delighted, and a guy from the press just asked me about if I'd sell him to PSG, considering I only very recently supposedly bought him from PSG, That would be an odd move, but I feel like in the next season I'll keep him, and then we'll see at the end of that season. Someone who I maybe will not keep is Dejan Lovren. So he's a very good player. Um, I mean, let's start off with that. But if you just compare him to Sako quickly, Sako has, is that more physical presence, is a bit more well-rounded. Um, but Lovren's no slouch for sure. But even just the difference there. So Lovren, compare him to Skirtle. Yep, there we go. So really, they shouldn't be playing that far apart. Skirtle's a bit quicker and a bit, attacking, doesn't really come into it that much. But Lovren's better at defending. But there's a gulf between these guys. A gulf between these guys, rather. Yeah, and so I'm not really. And he had enough games. He had enough games to impress, but I'm not overly delighted. And obviously he's one of the highly paid people. So he may be not long for this Liverpool team, despite actually being very, very good. I'm not really sure. It kind of yeah, he's considering leaving anyway, so kind of depends what I can get for him, because I do like him, but he's susceptible to injuries, fairly slow. Um, hmm, yeah. So he's not exactly covered himself in glory as an out and out starter the way Skirtle has. So might be not long for this squad. Kondogbia, I'm retraining him as a centre back because I needed a bit of coverage in there. I only got him in because of the unbelievably good deal I got. But yeah, he's done a job. He's got plenty more improvement to go, and he's my type of player. Enjoys big matches and fairly consistent. So that's good. Good, well-rounded, all-rounder, physical beast. 6'2". That's all good. John Flanagan, I think he came on once in the Champions League because he's a Liverpool homegrown player, which is why I gave him a new contract. I gave him a contract to 2018. By 2017, all of the Wonder Kids that I've bought to play this season will be homegrown, so I will not need him anymore. He will still have a year left on his contract, and I can sell him for maybe $1 million or $2 million. I'm retrained because I don't really play fullbacks. He's a good fullback. He's decent. He's very good mentally and defensively. But I'm retraining him for a defensive midfield slot because he will be getting in my Champions League squad currently. And yeah, so he should be able to do something, is what I'm thinking. And he's not a bad player. He's not bad. He doesn't get paid a lot, so I'm happy to keep him on board as a Liverpool lad. And that's all good. Soul was bad. He was bad. He's even improving, even though he wasn't very good. So yeah, slightly disappointed. I thought he'd come in and kind of rock it a bit more than that, but he didn't. But he will next season. So if we compare him with the likes of, oh come on now, if we compare him with the likes of Lovren, I'm sure. Yeah, see, Saul is paid a lot for a 19-year-old because he kind of clearly has ideas about himself, and he's very, very good, as you can see. Is Lovren worth that much more? No, as long as Saul obviously can sort himself out. So Lovren is in danger here, but this is a fairly solid defensive setup. We will be welcoming the likes of Jonathan Tah, Vallejo, and Romagnoli into this defensive setup as more young, great players. So we can maybe phase out the likes of Lovren. Obviously, we'll say bye to Skirtle at the end of next season, probably, and maybe Sako as well for a bit of cash. And then we'll have a full young setup of the Wonder Kiddies. So that'll be interesting for all. I think I've talked fairly extensively, and the defence is probably the simplest part of this setup. So that doesn't bode well for the rest of it. Right, I'm going to talk about the two defensive midfielder slots. As per usual, I've started without a drink, although I see one in arm's reach, which I didn't know was there. So I'm going to take. You can absorb these stats while I take a quick drink. Well, that blew the cobwebs out. Very good, very good. So, as you can see, absolutely star performer here, Jordan Henderson. What a hero. Any doubts about him have been completely dismissed because he played really, really well. He can play in either the deep line playmaker or the ball winning midfielder role. Um, he's really, really good. He's got a nice long contract already, so I don't need to make him sign a new one to pay him more or anything like that. Um, I mean, Peter Herman reckons he's world class. I maybe wouldn't go that far, but he's very, very good. And he played really, really well. So I guess that kind of backs Peter Herman's view. Um, Supporting him as the next greatest achiever was Emre Can, a very, very able player, slightly on the decline. I'm not entirely sure why, but I'm sure that's not permanent, and he has got better throughout the season. Um, Good physically, very, very quick, and both those guys actually have great natural fitness. So they can play they can play a couple of games in a week and still come back with a decent level of fitness. So really happy with that. Um, yeah, so they will be taking over from the maybe underperforming Steven Gerrard. Steven Gerrard finished the season with fractured ribs. That's basically collapsed his physical stats. Um, yeah, he leaves. I mean, I don't know why he's only leaving in at the start of July. He should be leaving when the transfer window opens, but whatever. I'm sure there's some kind of American reason for that. But yeah, he's off to LA Galaxy. Um, which will free up a lot of wages. So, and he hasn't. I mean, he's good. He scored one free kick all bloody season. So amazing, great free kicks, great technique, decent long shots. Scored one free kick all season. So, not delighted with him. I was happy to have him there, happy to play him. He was good. Um, Not a patch, obviously, on his last season where he scored a lot of goals. Um, excuse me. I wouldn't say went out with a whimper, but he didn't. Emre Can and Henderson outperformed him and will replace him, and so that's fine. My other defensive midfielder, who's very, very good, is Lucas Pitbull. Um, I have nicknamed him Lucas Pitbull. His real name is Lucas Romero. I want him to play like a pitbull. I see him playing like a pitbull in that ball winging midfielder role. He just basically, it's really funny if I switch to tactics quickly. He'll be here, and then someone will get the ball over here, and he'll just like charge at them. If they get past him, he charges straight back to his position, and then by that point the ball's moved over here, and he'll just be like rah. So I enjoyed that a lot, and he will get better as a player, and he's a good guy all round, very consistent and lots of potential. So he'll be in and around the first team as well. Mighty Mouse also planned to be taking up that sort of role as well. He's 19, very good player, improving massively. He's upset at the minute. It's a bit annoying. So he wanted a new deal, and I said, well, I mean, your kind of contract runs a fair. Oh yeah, that was it. Actually, it was particularly irksome because his agent came to me saying, "Oh, after that performance, I want him to have a new contract. He's now a first team player." He got sent off. He got sent off, and the agent came to me and said that guy needs a new contract. Nah, pal, nah. Um, and usually, if you say no, and then the player comes to you himself and says, why though? And you go to him, look, well, your contract's already got loads of years on it, so you don't need a new contract. And he goes, oh, okay. But Mighty Mouse was like, no, mate, no, I want another one. I'm a bigger, better player now. And I was like, no, though, your performances haven't been good enough. You need to show me something. And he was like, no, I don't need to show you anything. It was just a really stupid, pointless argument. I didn't like it at all. He's only started 8 games, so yeah. So he's a bit upset at the minute. I'm sure being volatile and confrontational. I just spotted that. Yeah, but he'll simmer down. He'll be fine, and then he'll probably sign a new contract and be part of my team next season. But yeah, he played well. My other guy in there is Ruben Neves. I used him more hesitantly than I used Mighty Mouse because he was on loan for the first start of the season, but he will be very, very good. He looks like, if you look at his square, it doesn't look like he's doing very well, but then actually you compare him to Mighty Mouse, who in my head I thought of as a lot better. But actually it's the well-roundedness that is great with Ruben Neves. He's also great in the air, whereas Mighty Mouse, obviously being a mouse, is not very good in the air. But he'll feature more and more, I'm sure, as the new Gerrard. I think I did a comparison with Gerrard last time as well, just to show you. That's why I paid over £14 million for this lad, because you know, he's on 15 grand a week. Gerrard is on 140 grand a week. Um, yeah, Kondogbia is actually probably a defensive midfielder. Once I get him to become a natural um, centre back, I'll get him to become a natural defensive midfielder as well, so he can be my utility man. And if anyone fancies him for over 25 million, then he's theirs in the future. Um, so that's the defensive midfielders. Probably, yeah, okay, is still taking long. Right, if I move to the rest of the midfielders. So Barbosa will do as a striker. Sterling. Sterling was our top performing attacking midfielder. He was great. I really enjoyed him. He was really, really good. A lot of tackles as well, which is really weird. If you compare, like, so Memphis got 4.5 tackles, Coutinho 5.4, Sterling on 7.5 tackles, which is really good. It's up there with Jose Gaya, he's actually good at tackling, whereas Sterling is, well, I suppose he's not bad. But he's only dinky. He's 5'7". But yeah, he's good, really good in there, really good in there. Happy with him. Good performance. I've converted him to be a natural right winger. He's a natural central attacking midfielder, and soon he will become a natural left winger as well to give him that proper flexibility. And I've offered him a new contract on way more money because obviously he's realised that he's quite good and worth quite a lot more than 35 grand a week. But especially till 2020, I probably won't need to offer him a new contract for a good few years after that. Happy days. Another attacking midfielder who played very well was Memphis. Didn't score as many goals as I would have liked him to, considering he's got amazing finishing, amazing long shots, and reasonable free kicks. But he's improving, and that's the important thing. Physically, he's a beast already. Decisions need to go up a bit. He needs to get a bit smarter. But yeah, he's an absolute legend, and yeah, very happy with him. Very happy. Coutinho played a lot more games, got some more assists. He's a really good player. I wasn't quite sure whether I thought he'd be out and out best in that central attacking midfield role, but he seems to do quite well out on the wing as well. And Sterling was doing quite well in the central attacking midfield role, so I was a bit confused as to what to do with him. But it's a problem that I'm gonna enjoy having. So I'm training him on that left wing. I'll then probably train him on that right wing because he's actually right-footed. But yeah, he did pretty well. Pretty happy with him. Who've got? Jose Gaya was our reserve left winger. He is now a natural left winger, which I'm very happy with. I'm also now training him on the right wing. He now is left-footed as opposed to left only, having trained on his weaker foot, and he's got a reasonable weak foot now. I believe it's all part of his. Yeah, he's getting there. So he's going to be really good. Obviously, his potential is really, really high. And he's really, really consistent. He just needs to develop those attacking attributes a bit more because his defensiveness is very, very solid. Martial, I suppose, yeah, had a good season. He's a striker, really, but so let's review him in a minute. Kennedy played a lot in midfield. In fact, I'm sure he played more games in midfield than he did up front. Having recovered from injury, his stats are really improving, so I'm really happy with that. These kind of like 15, 14, getting to where you want him to be, which is actually such a good all-rounder. He's such a good all-rounder. Physically, mentally, you can see nothing important really dips below 11. So yeah, like the weak points in physical balance and strength are still 11. The weak points in mental, bravery, concentration, still 11. So he's going to be really good. Really happy with him. Tony came back from loan at Celtic, didn't really do anything at Celtic, so I was a bit disappointed. I did earn some money, however, so happy with that. I don't know why they've not seemed to have registered how much I bought him for, which was something like 6 or 7 million. As some of them do, their potential, as you get to know them more, you scout them and they say their potential is amazing, then they sign up and their potential is not so good. Maybe a reflection of his season as well. So I'm thinking maybe I'll loan him out next season to get a proper first team experience, because he's too old to be homegrown. So I'm happy to let him out of the club. Although, he's still very good. I still like him a lot as a player. So people who didn't have such good seasons, I guess Tony is one of them because he was in and out. Maximilian Meyer, I'm kind of disappointed. He did get injured as well. Disappointed I paid a reasonable amount of money for him, 6 mil fairly solid. Don't usually get hold of him, but that's it. Yeah, he's on a lot of money. He's on 42 grand a week. He should be really rather very good. Rather very good. Big matches, consistent, skillful, good Premier League player already. Slots straight into that AMC. Yeah, I haven't quite put my finger on why he wasn't all that, but he'll feature next season, no doubt, no doubt. Lozano played a lot of games. His form got criticised as well. But I was like, look, we're going to have to play him in a lot of games to make him better. And he has got a lot better. He's got quicker. And these stats here, these technical stats, have got a lot better. Considering he's got 14 on finishing, 14 on composure, and 14 on off the ball, he's actually would be a rather tasty striker. Good long shots as well, considering his passing isn't that great. But then also you've got the fact that his tackling is quite good, his work rate is good, he does work well on the wing because his crossing is good as well. But yeah, he's a really good player. I think I'm probably offering him a new contract to top it up to 2020. Now I can offer people 5-year contracts. He's got that little bit of injury in him, but he's also consistent. He's got big matches. So yeah, I'm happy. He's not played well, but he's played games and developed. Nathan came in January, was at a kind of under 20s tournament for a lot of time, and then got injured, I believe. So hasn't really played. Packed full of potential. So I don't know if we'll maybe either see him more or see him loaned out. I'm not really sure, because if you compare him to the likes of Maya, I haven't done this actually. Maya should be better. So Maya's a bit better. I mean, yeah, considering he's on 40 grand. But Maya should be improving more than he is. Yeah, squad management will be interesting stuff. Right, so we move on to strikers. I've probably been chatting away, yakking. So this is where the real top performers of our squad, you can see them. Mario Balotelli, 31 goals in 39 starts, 11 man of the matches. Daniel Sturridge, 17 goals in 34 starts, not quite as good, but still you can see he performed really, really well. And yeah, was generally pretty good. Got those dribbles in there, better shots on target ratio, despite scoring less. Yeah, because Balotelli, he does tend to just smash the ball about for a while. So, Sturridge will do some like dinky, runny, roundy, doing whatever he likes. And he's a good player. Are there still people interested in him? No, I set the asking price at 45 million and everyone buggered off. But yeah, Balotelli, he tends to smash the ball about a bit, and he's actually improved as well. You see that? That's quite good. Improving in finishing and composure, all on board with that. But then when he smashes it and it goes on target, the goalkeepers just don't stop it, and so he scores, and that's what I pay him for. And so I am offering him a new contract, a nice long contract, because his contract runs out reasonably soon. So then even if I sell him, it's a pumped up price, and I like that a lot. So yeah, Sturridge is a bit concerned. What's he concerned about? Once a new challenge has achieved everything at current club, mate, your definition of everything is the League Cup. Oh gosh, what an idiot. Anyway, my replacement for Sturridge would be 13 goal Gabriel Barbosa. I was thinking if he had better leadership, I would nickname him Captain Barbosa in honour. But I'm not going to. But he's 18 years of age, and he's bloody amazing. His physical stats are amazing. His technical stats are amazing. Great at passing. So he's a good playmaker playing in the withdrawn role. Absolutely love it. Played for Brazil more this season and scored his first Brazil goal. Excellent player. Offering him a new contract, I hope. Yes, I am. And yeah, he'll be bloody excellent. So happy with him. Confident. Actually, in my two backup strikers, so both Barbosa and Baiano, because they both scored a lot of goals. Baiano especially was absolutely unbelievable and improved a lot as well. So yeah, his finishing is now a lot better. He's a bit more pacey, and that's what I'm wanting. So he can achieve this high end kind of potential ability. That's why I paid £20 million for him. He got nearly 20 goals, so pretty happy with that. 7 of those in the league, lots of those in cup competitions and in continental football, whereas more than worth including him in the squad. So very happy with that. Yeah, and he was really, really good. Really, and you see the gap, over 7 average, and then it dips quite significantly to the rest of them. So Anthony Martial has improved. He's obviously lightning quick. He's physically very good. He's good at finishing. He's got good technical stats. Obviously he's on loan, so I didn't want to play him in loads and loads of games. and I can't seem to be able to get hold of him. He's not going on the cheap. So I was thinking I've put in a loan bid for him again to get him on loan next season because I mean, it cost me virtually nothing to loan him in, and he's a decent utility player. I have got a lot of strikers coming in, so maybe it might not be the best idea to have another one who I'm not 100% investing in. But I get that feeling that he will be available for like about 5 million at some point, and I would love to get hold of him for 5 million. Um, and yeah, also still have the opportunity to make him homegrown. So I don't know how fixated I'm getting on that. I should probably be less fixated on it. But yeah, Kennedy is yeah, one of those who will be homegrown. Carlos Fernandez had a bit of a disappointing season. He's not improved that much, a little bit, reflecting of his performances really. Um, but he's still got a lot of potential there, a lot of improvement to be done. He did manage to score a goal, and I was happy with that because Rishi the Ziv did not, unfortunately, despite the fact he's obviously absolutely amazing. He's unbelievable. I mean, if you compare the two players, is not a spot on him really. He's a lot quicker. He's got great vision. He's a better at attacking. He's even Rishi the Ziv is 6'2" and is even reasonable in the air. Carlos Fernandez's best attribute is his heading. Um, so yeah, Rishi the Ziv will definitely be in and around the squad. I may loan Carlos Fernandez out to get that extra experience. He's 19 years of age. If he does a whole season in the Championship or something like that, I'm imagining he'll improve a lot and be a bit more worth that £9 million I paid for him. But yeah, Rishi the Ziv was unlucky not to get a goal. One of those assists is an assist for an own goal that basically should have been his because it was going on target anyway. So not many goals from these backup strikers, but obviously Baiano and Barbosa did their job superbly. Yeah, he'll be coming back next season. Despite his dread of big games, his potential is limitless. So he can be my flat track bully, 6'2", lightning fast, Romelu Lukaku type on a good day type player. Um, but yeah, coming into I forgot to mention, coming into the midfield will of course be Gerson on the left wing. Yuri Tielemans will come back and play either right wing or attacking midfield, and Leon Goretzka, who I've signed for a bit of money. But although I've got my 40 million now, so I'm pretty happy. Coming into the attacking areas at the turn of this season will be Gabriel Jesus, also Enes Unal, Malcom, Guido Vadala, and yeah, guys like that. And then we've also got Bernardo Silva coming back from loan. So yeah, I get why there was maybe some analysis and maybe some critique that I've developed about 3 world-class squads here. But you know what? When one declines, like Tony Trinidad, basically, his potential has dropped off a bit, and there'll be other players where their potential drops off a bit. They'll maybe not be, like Carlos Fernandez, they won't be as good. So I bought in Carlos Fernandez and Carlos Baiano as, I paid a bit more obviously for Baiano, but I was equally expecting equal amounts from them and got very different levels of output. So that happens, and obviously that will dictate how good or not players get. So anyway, I've been talking about my squad for quite some time now. I'm sure painfully, but also yeah, I've just picked out Carlos Baiano. His shot on target ratio is unbelievable, unbelievable. That's why he scores so many bloody goals. Makes a lot of sense. And actually, him and Barbosa's passing is all better than everyone else. Zivkovic. Anyway, before I get too far back into this again, get dragged back into analysing stats, kicking and screaming. So that's been my end of season review. I'm looking forward to next season very, very much. I've armed with a transfer kitty. My players have developed. I've established the backroom staff. I've got the tactics set. I've got more wonder kids coming in. I've got my youth players coming in who will obviously just slot into the under 18s and under 21 side. I'm sorting out their coaching, so very happy with that. Hopefully I'll be able to improve some other things from the board side of things. So I know there's a stadium expansion going in already to Anfield, so maybe we can do that more. We can develop the youth side of things more. I can get some more youth coaches. I'd like to do that. So yeah, lots of exciting things to come for the next season. And with that, I will bid you good night. And yeah, maybe start a review at the end of pre-season games or something like that to see how everyone's getting along. All right, cheers, guys. Bye.